Welcome to Germany for today's qualifying session at the famous Hockenheim Ring. The pit lane lights will turn green in the next minute or two to signify the start of qualifying. Looking at this field today, Anthony, do you think we're going to see anyone take a chance? Maybe run the hard tyres and save some of the grippier tyres for the race tomorrow?
Well, I'd be surprised in all honesty. It's only the front runners that really have the pace to get away with that. And even then, at the end of the day, it's a big risk. Track position is the most important thing, and it's rarely worth sacrificing for a slightly more optimal strategy in the race, so I doubt we're going to see anyone trying it. I have been wrong before though. We certainly do see some risky decisions every now and then, and it's a gamble that's sometimes worth taking. But if it were me in the car, I would want to be on the fastest tyre for my qualifying lap, without a doubt.
It's a bit disappointing, but we just need to push hard in the race and we can still come away with something.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three. Hamilton.
Excellent lap. We're really pleased.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Mr. Monaco, Vettel and Charles Leclerc. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Well done. Very solid result. You're looking good for the race.
There's nowhere at all I'd rather be today than here at Hockenheim for the German Grand Prix. We have an incredibly competitive field this year, which means we should be in for a treat. And judging by the sea of people filling the grandstands, there's a fair-sized chunk of Germany that agrees with me. With average lap speeds of around 130 miles per hour, the Hockenheim Ring is a quick circuit with a lap distance of 2.8 miles, around 17 corners. The main DRS zone through Parabolica leads into the hairpin for the best overtaking opportunity on the track. Anthony Davidson, thanks for joining me once again for the Grand Prix. Let me ask you about Racing Point. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Mr. Monaco lines up on pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton and Albon, Magnussen, Hülkenberg, Perez and Roman Grosjean. Sainz, Gasly, Kimi Raikkonen and Ricciardo, Giovinazzi, Norris, George Russell and Lance Stroll. Kubica and Daniel Kvyat completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
This is our engine supplier's home Grand Prix. Let's give them a race worth watching. That's a decent start. Good job. Okay, entering lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled. The car behind is dropping back. We're seeing a gap form. Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the ICE. Be aware that we will start to see a loss of power. Power from the engine is going to be down slightly. It's showing some minor wear. This is your final lap of the race. The gap behind us is 5.2 seconds. Yes, you've done it! Well done!
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. Let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. That lead at the top of the table has shrunk somewhat today. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Well, there was a lot of incredible driving out there today, Crofty, but if I had to pick someone, it's got to be Sergio Perez. Fantastic driving.
Let's move on to the constructors. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. It was more like dodgems than Formula One today, wasn't it? What do you think made the difference between this weekend and last weekend? There are rumours that you're looking for a contract with another team. Is there any truth to that? So talk us through what happened between you and your rival today. Great. Well, that's everything.
Great work this weekend. It was fantastic to see you up on that podium.